What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back with another episode of Tampa Talk Live on a Taco Tuesday coming into December. So you can put some Christmas sprinkles on the tacos. I don't know. It doesn't sound very good. We do have a full bench, y'all. If you didn't, excited to be back with everyone because it's always a good time when we have everybody in the seat here. And I've got Miss Stacy Eamon back from her adventures in Indiana. And man, let me just first of all say congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, Madison, I've been waiting for this. And boy, it was just 2 short weeks ago where, I definitely got roughed up a little bit, which is fair. I mean, Ohio State had an excellent game against Michigan, but shout out to the Indiana Hoosiers for the 30 times in a row. Ohio State Buckeyes have beat you guys, and man, you did that to win your very first Big Ten championship. Congratulations.
It was fun. Lots of fun.
Absolutely. And you all are like, we're talking about Tampa. Stacy's from Indiana. You got Madison from Columbus, Ohio area, and I'm from the Ann Arbor, Michigan area. We've all been down here a while, but y'all, these things are real life. So congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, cool. So tonight, what are we talking about tonight? We've got some interesting topics. We're going to talk about some real estate statistics. I'm going to share a little bit of what was going on in October. We've been discussing about Pinellas County and clearing numbers with the hurricane since we've cycled in a year. We're going to talk a little bit about that, but we're going to talk about the luxury side of the market because while the United States housing prices have started to decline, which is very normal for this time of the year, y'all. We'll get into the numbers there. This isn't a gloom and doom crash calling thing. And I know the thumbnail said, is Chicken Little right? That was the title there. Prices are falling, but it's fairly normal in terms of seasonality. But we're going to talk about that. On the other side of this, conversely, the real estate market and the luxury real estate market in the United States, of course, is still continuing to grow. And I think this is one of those cases of the have and have nots. And I think we should discuss it just a little bit, kind of talk about what we're seeing. Something really fun. I pulled the 10 most expensive listings in Tampa. So so y'all can see what the uber rich are spending on houses these days, because goodness gracious, there's a lot going on over there. So excited to get into that. And we've got Miss Madison down in St. Petersburg this evening. She's going to be, of course, hitting the streets, letting us know what's going on in and around town, just like Miss Stacy too. We're going to start with Stacy this evening. Then we're going to get into the housing on the luxury end. And then jump in with Madison down in Pinellas County, see what's going on down there as well. And if we've never met before, y'all, my name is Juan Alcalá. I know lots of people come here often. We welcome you back. We welcome you to the conversation, most importantly. So this video, and if you're watching this later, this is really meant to be an invitation to our community. And as you can see, they let us know where they're watching from. If you have questions, feel free to bring those live and post once this gets published as well, because I'm happy to go back and answer questions on this, and we often do. So happy to connect with everyone. I want to say hello to our viewers right now. We've got Kevin up in Lakeland, or over in Lakeland, I should say. Good evening, Kevin. Good to see you, sir. We've got Miss Carol out in Wesley Chapel. Good evening. She says she is going to just listen while she's doing her PT. Get it in.
Does that mean Carol got injured?
I hope not.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe it's just because, she's been doing all the run clubs and she, maybe she tweaked something. I don't know.
All that swimming.
To find out. We got Keith up in Indiana. What's up, Keith? Good to see you, sir. Good to be with you as well. We've got Nick out in Denver. What is going on, sir? Good to see you as well. Madison and I were just on a call with a family from Denver yesterday. Good to hear from you. They got like 40 acres. They're gonna make a big lifestyle adjustment.
Wow.
Yeah. I made the same face when I said that.
Big one. We were both like, okay.
That's huge.
A huge transformation for us.
Yeah, absolutely. So we will keep you guys abreast of how that's going to go. John says hello from cold, rainy, windy Seattle. We'll be back in Tampa on Saturday. John's always back and forth. Thanks for sharing that, John. We appreciate it. Why so many new Tampanians, by the way? It's the long word. We have to get that all the way out from Ohio and Indiana. It's an invasion. Yes, it is. I'll show you the migration invasion statistics later, so y'all can really wrap your mind around it. I love it. John says we got one of the most expensive close to where I am, $21 million for waterfront castle in Apollo Beach. It's a freaking fortress. Even the landscape is artificially elevated by a few feet. There you go. Love it. Thanks for sharing, brother. I appreciate it. We'll get into some of those details for sure. I'm sorry. He says Cleveland. My bad, dude. I don't know why I was thinking. What do you say? Christmas cookies. I'm in. What are we doing? Christmas cookies? Yeah. What kind of Christmas cookies? All right. Sweet. Cool. Well, ladies, I want to get into some of the action here. Let's jump right in. Miss Stacy's got some stuff that she wants to share right now. And I don't know about you, but anytime somebody wants to take me to Whoville, I'm down. I don't. I'm a huge fan of When the Grinch Stole Christmas. I think that is probably, I mean, y'all, I'm a little bit older than most people, 48 years old. I grew up with The Christmas Story and Lampoons, which if I don't see both those movies on New Year's and Christmas Day, the season is not complete. So that is how my life works. But I got to say, The Grinch That Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey's got to be one of the all-time greatest, and I'm not here to argue it. I'm just, from my perspective, it is. But Stacy wants to take us out to Whoville. So we got to run up there. We got to see what's going on and let us know. What are we looking at here?
Yeah. So there's always fun things to do in Tampa, and especially during the holidays, we have festivities on every corner, I feel like. But up here in Wesley Chapel, you don't have to go very far because there is a Christmas village at the Wesley Chapel Sports Complex.
Nice.
Which is this Saturday. So they're going to have holiday music, fun activities for the kids, Santa, breakfast with Santa. They're going to be decorating Christmas cookies and ornament decorating. And the Grinch is going to be there as well, which I think he's become so popular over the last few years. He is just, wherever Santa is, the Grinch is right behind him.
Oh, I love it.
So, yeah.
So is it at the Ice Center?
No, there's a Christmas village at the Wesley Chapel Sports Complex, and then at the skate. Yeah.
This one. My bad, y'all.
That's okay.
So this is the one you got going on. Okay. I was going to say, I was like, because the skate, I didn't know they had an ice rink there. I remember we were there and they had basketball and soccer and all the things. And those guys did such a smart thing, Madison. When Stacy and I went out there, we were both blown away. They put the hotel right next to the soccer field, and they put the rooftop bar overlooking the soccer field.
Yeah. So you have a suite to watch your kids.
I was like, that is smart. Yeah. Nobody's done that. Yeah, that's really smart thing to do. It's a cool area.
Very cool. And then we can go down the street to the skating rink, because I don't know if y'all know, but ice skating and hockey is like a huge thing here in Florida. Mm-hmm. So we have a beautiful ice skating rink called Advent Health Center. And so they're going to have open skate there for the holidays. You can meet Santa, and the Grinch is going to be there. They're going to have cookies and hot chocolate and all kinds of fun festivities for kids of all ages.
And it's from 12 to 1:15 on December 20th. That is the same day as the tree lighting ceremony in the Riverboat Parade in downtown Tampa, Stacy. So just a heads up on that. So that's cool. You can go do this in the early afternoon, head on downtown to Tampa, and then go check out the Riverboat lighting. That's going to be an awesome day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, there's you have no problem finding stuff to do.
No, you really don't. No. And Cindy Lou, who's going to be there, which is awesome. So I dig that. I was pulling up the map just to give perspective on this, because sometimes we don't necessarily know where things are. But this is the corner of magic, is what I like to call this in Wesley Chapel. This corner here, and we were just out here when we went to Ocala this past weekend, Stacy. I took the kids. They love the burgers at Ford's Garage. If you guys have never been there, it's right on the north side of the street here. Really, really cool. But to the south side over here, what's this, Stacy, so everybody knows?
The Tampa Outlets.
Tampa Premium Outlets. It is that corner. If you can't find it there, it doesn't exist.
Nope.
All right. Costco's over there. Everything is there. It's wild. And then the ice rink's right across the street here. We drive by it all the time, and that place is always bumping. So this is great. Yeah. Love it.
Yep. Cool. And so much more room to grow too over there at the outlets.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
It's technically Tampa, but in Wesley Chapel, we claim it as Wesley Chapel.
It's totally
Actually, technically, I think it's Lutz, actually.
Yep.
So I'm not sure how the outlets got named Tampa Outlet.
Yes, it is a Lutz address, but we all know where it really is. It's everybody knows it's in West Chapel. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Yep. No doubt. Cool. Awesome. I love that. And Stacy, thank you for sharing that tonight. I know we covered a ton of Christmas stuff last week, y'all. She was hanging out with the fam and taking care of some business up there. So we stole some of her thunder because she was going to come with Snowcat Ridge. And
oh no!
Wow.
Yeah. I was so excited about it, Stacy, because I went last year. So I couldn't wait to tell everyone how those two like the slide just like slings you down there. It's incredible.
Yeah, and it looks like they're growing and adding to it every year because I think it's only the third year that it's been open, and it's so much different from the first year that it opened. So
I can't wait.
So many fun things to do there.
Yeah,
I actually had
about this
plans.
For the last years, for sure.
Oh.
What were you saying, Madison?
I was going to say I actually had plans to go there this Friday. However, I had to reschedule for January 2nd. So I was a bit upset that I had to push the fun back a couple of weeks.
Uh-oh, we got somebody coming into town?
No, I forgot I had a church event this weekend.
Got it.
So, and then next weekend I'll be out of town the week after. And then, so yeah, January 2nd. But
Jesus first, sledding second, y'all, just in case you needed to know that. Exactly. There are priorities in life.
Yes.
I love it. Well, there's nothing wrong with sharing this again, because this is like, I know that, everybody's like up north, like we got all that crap. Yeah, I get it. But we live in Florida. We don't have this. Okay. No. If it snows in Tampa, something is really, really wrong. Yeah. So we don't want that. And this is really cool. I always say this is my favorite line, and I believe it to be true. We moved here on purpose, right? Snow is something you should go to, not be stuck in.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
There is a huge difference.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Stacy, what was the temperature when you flew home?
I got off the plane. It was 26 degrees. 26. Oh my gosh. I think the low was 14 a couple of nights. It is so cold.
I couldn't imagine
it.
That's a hard pass.
Yeah.
And
then I was trying to pull my sister's car out of our garage, and there's a patch of the driveway that doesn't see the sun. So it was just nothing but ice. Trying to get her car out. I was like, I forgot how difficult this is to drive in snow. I got out of the car. I was like, you're going to have to pull this out.
That's hilarious. They were looking at you like you've gone soft.
Yeah.
100%. That's okay. Hey, you know what? It's true. We're okay with it. Right? Soft as ice cream. I got friends up in Canada, and they say that all the time. Like, dude, I'm soft as ice cream. I am not afraid to admit it. Let's be real. I moved for here a reason. Y'all, it was 51 degrees. I put pants on today.
Yeah.
Pants.
Yeah. I had a sweater on. Like a long sleeve and a sweater.
Yep. And hey guys, check in with us on the one day every year that we get close to freezing. Stacy will be wearing a full blanket.
I do not turn my heat on, people. I refuse.
It's the greatest thing in the world.
It's the principle of it. I live in Florida. I don't need heat.
I love that. That's fantastic. All right, let's get into some real estate news and what's going on in and around town. So, I'm about to get into this article here. Pretty interesting things happening. So, this is the time of year where housing prices go down. That's normal. Okay. I'm not talking about crazy town, during COVID when everything was upside down. Stranger Things was real life in real estate all across the country for 2.5 years. We're back to a more normal cycle for sure. So you're going to see declining sales prices typically in the winter. Most of the time people don't want to move. That's nothing abnormal, right? Like only the serious home sellers and home buyers are really doing anything right around this time. However, the luxury market in the United States has continued to move along. It's down a little bit. I'll get into specific numbers here, but despite that, seeing some declines in the national luxury market, Tampa Bay has 2 of the top 3. luxury markets. So, it's interesting. We've had discussions, internally as a team. We've seen this with our clients and the people that have reached out to us where, and luxury can be defined a lot of different ways. This article pulls from data from realtor.com, which says that luxury is anything that is the top 10% price of your marketplace. So we're going to get into this because I think it's an interesting thing to look at. People have been well aware of, if you haven't, forgive me, but for the last 3 years, Sarasota, Northport, that area has been demolished on home prices, on the median home prices. They're down 20%, and they're starting to become stable, but that market was abused, just like Austin, Texas. And what's interesting is their luxury market leads the country. So we're going to get into some of those numbers here on this article here. But while the cost of luxury homes declined nationally over the last year, both Northport, Bradenton, Sarasota, and Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater bucked the national trend and emerged as two of the top 3 growth markets over the last year, according to Realtor.com. Now, overall sales here, and I know this is a little bit smaller. Let me try to make this just a touch bigger for you all. Always a little bit tough. Okay, cool. Overall, you can see listings for year over year for the top 10% in the United States, and that's down 2.2%. I think that's pretty fair considering how beat up the real estate markets have been for the last 3 years in general. But you can see right under here, Northport, Bradenton, Sarasota comes in at 1.6 million. That's a 19.3% year over year gain. 10%. They are the days on the market. Here's what's interesting. Okay. Something selling is one thing. You can put a property on the market and leave it there for 3 years. And luxury always takes much longer to sell. Well, I won't say always because it's bucking the trend here, but typically, if the median home or the average home price in your area or the average home is selling in 45 days, as an example, a luxury home typically takes somewhere between 2 and 3 times as long on average. That is very normal in a cycle, but you're seeing these things completely buck the trend. So Northport, Bradenton up 19.3% year over year on their price, and up 10% on the days on market. So they're really humming there. And then when you get to number 2 is actually Herbert, Utah. I've never been there before. Their median sales price there, their most expensive listings start at 6.5 million. That one's down 10%. And then you can see here at Tampa, St. Pete, the top 10% starts at $1,050,000. So that's considered luxury in Tampa. If you're $1,049,000, you're with the rest of us heathens. I'm so
you're sorry. Not rich enough.
I'm so sorry. We just missed it. We got to go sell something on the street corner to make it work. I don't know what's going on there. Hilarious. But 8% that market is up year over year, and days on market again selling in the top 10%. So it's interesting to see that. Now, what does luxury mean here? Okay, so that can mean a lot of things. The top 10%. Well, as soon as you say that can mean so many things. If you live in Malibu, or if you live in West Palm Beach or Miami, all of these prices are different across the country. So I think this is something unique to look at. And I want to talk about why too. But if we go to, y'all remember when we talked about this? I think it was back in October. We talked about the penthouse selling at the Waldorf Astoria, right, in St. Pete. $27 million penthouse sale. Right? On a building that didn't even exist yet, which is wild. And it's so, our country is so unique. You definitely have the haves and the have-nots. There's no doubt about it. That gap is becoming wider. And I'm not here to argue whether it's good or it's right. It is. It's math, right? And we all have opinions. I understand, but I'm sharing this with you guys because, it is happening. It's happening on a day in, day out basis. And to see a $27 million home sale, before it's even completed is not out of the ordinary here. I'm going to show you guys some numbers here in Tampa Bay. But I also, before I show you some houses, we're going to get into the top 10 most expensive listings in Tampa specifically. We're not even getting to the Bay. We're just going to talk about the city. But before we do that, I want to kind of talk about why. All right. Why is this happening? Where's this money coming from? And you'll see this in the stats as well when you see our cash sales. you know, historically, we've always had really high cash sales, right, ladies, since you've been here, right?
Yeah.
But the head of Greater Florida for JP Morgan's private bank. So, y'all, this isn't for, again, for us that are 1,049,000, we don't get this guy. I'm kidding. I'm joking, right? But this is the head of JP Morgan here in South Florida, or here in Florida, who handles private banking. So this is when you get the exclusive invites and you come in, and when you go to the bank, someone's waiting on you. You don't have to go to the counter. You know what I mean? So this is a different experience. But I wanted to get into what's going on here, because it is important that we talk about why. And this gentleman's name is Mr. Malone. He is the one in charge of JP Morgan here in the region, and Mark Malone is his name. And here's what I want to talk about here. Just if you can see this, let me try to zoom in on this a little bit too. It says the region has had more wealth than ever, and it's earning its stripes in tech. Right. And a startup destination as the local economy grows increasingly more diverse, said Malone. Tampa has completely changed. It's a very different place than it was 20 years ago. I think anybody who's lived here 20 years ago would know that. But this is from the people with the money. And this is why I wanted to get deeper on this, right? Because he's not just talking about what's happening around the area, but if the head of wealth at JP Morgan Chase, which is the largest banking institution in the world, right, is setting up a headquarters in Sarasota because of the amount of wealth that's in the area, it tells you something, right? So it continues to migrate. Now, while that can, I understand that everybody's not happy about that, but the reality is the people with money also bring jobs. And I think that that's important to note. And that's what they're discussing here, because they're looking to deploy these assets here locally, and businesses are coming here. We've talked about the growth we were seeing in Pasco and the headquarters that are built up there. St. Petersburg has become a huge hub, and Tampa is a huge tech hub as well, and crypto. So as these things continue to evolve, there's a lot going on in the area. So I think that's pretty interesting. Now, I want to take you guys over to, this is Redfin. If you guys go in there today, I'll show you where to find this too. Let me back out just one step here. Typically share this with most people. If you just go to the housing market in the United States, I'll put this in the resources later. You can see it. And then you can put any city you want. I put Tampa in here, and it gives you some really cool stuff. You got the demand, the migration, top 10 list. We'll get into all that stuff here. Schools, if you want to know those types of things as well. So if we go down to the top 10 list and we check out the 10 most expensive homes in Tampa, y'all, I just wanted, before we get into this list is wild. All right. So this is the city. I'm not talking about the Bay Area. So I'm not talking about Clearwater or St. Pete or Paso Grill or any of the Apollo Beach or any of the other areas where you can pick up luxury real estate. We're just talking about the city proper. Okay, most of these are going to be on the water, not all of them. But the first one here, and here's what's really interesting is we'll talk about days on market. Remember we were talking about days on market just a minute ago? I want to show you some of this stuff. All right, so Martinique Avenue, which is in South Tampa, and this is in Davis Islands. You can see it's the red one on the screen, y'all. You see that down here at the tip. It's listed at $16,888. It's been on the market for 25 days. All right. It's listed at $2,700 a square foot. Now, in the suburbs, well, that's a Chapel. You can get homes for $270, $340 a square foot. $2,700 on this one. All right. Going to the second. The other one right next door. This one's listed at $14,950,000. This is a 5-bedroom, 9-bath, 9,600 square foot house. 27 days on market. This one is a very reasonable, palatable, if you will, $1,550 a square foot. We're talking big drop off there. The view must be terrible from the backyard. I don't know how we got into this one. Both of these are on the water, y'all. You're looking out over the bay, which is an incredible view. All right. The next one is Longfellow Avenue. This one's over in Tampa. This is on the West Shore. If you look at the map there, look to the west side, which is all the way to the left. I forget that not everybody knows north, south, east, and west. But it's all the way to the left side over there. right off the West Shore, 5-bedroom, 6-bath, 5,300 square foot. This one has been on the market for 95 days. Looks like there's a buying opportunity here, y'all. And it is priced per square foot at $2,624 a square foot. Going on to the next one. This one's a great house. This is right in that Ballast Point area, right off of Bayshore Boulevard. You're at the beginning of the sidewalk, the longest continuous stretch of sidewalk in the United States down there. Look at the size of this land too. It's awesome. 3,100 square feet. So this one has been on the market for 160 days and is coming in at $3,854 per square foot. So definitely on the higher side. 160 days on market. Bayshore Boulevard. This is right in South Tampa here. On Bayshore, you can see it on the map. This is a condo. We're looking at a 4-bedroom, 5-bath, 8,390 square foot. This one's been on the market for 222 days. Doesn't surprise me. It's a condo. I don't care where it is. It's hard to, unless it's the Waldorf Astoria. They're a little bit more challenging to sell. This one's coming in at $1,287 a square foot. I love this house, by the way. Love the look of it. I know they're a little bit small on the screen here, but Homer Avenue, which is again on the West Shore of Tampa. This multiple car garage here. Love the elevation on this property. It's great. This one's been on the market for 101 days, coming at $1,360 $63 a square foot, $8.95 million. Looks like pretty reasonable price for that house. Really nice. Really nice home. North 61st Street. This is a 5-bedroom, 3-bath, 1,600 square foot, y'all. 210 days on the market. Something's telling me this one's going to be here a little bit longer also. But I know why this property is listed and what they're asking for it. This is up where all the magic is starting to happen up in Tampa area here. But it's a wild price, $8.5 million. They're not getting anywhere near that. Listed at $5,200. I'm pretty sure that one's a mistake, by the way, but it's on the list, so I had to show you. Another one on Longfellow. So we're going back over to the West Shore. What a view here, y'all. What a view on just look. This is what you wake up to every day. And you're looking at Pinellas County out your back door there for those of you who are uninitiated. 6-bedroom, 6.5 bath, $7.99 million, and $1,215 a square foot. Very reasonable. And it's got a boat dock. Right? Very reasonable. Number 9, Neptune Way. Again, sticking to the West Shore here. This is towards the northern end, right by the highway there. $7.89 million, 6'6", 7,200 square foot, coming in at $1,088 per square foot. 57 days on market, so reasonable there. Not seeing anything crazy. This is to be built, as you guys can see here. 4 bedrooms, 5.5 bath, 5,700 square foot, $7.8 million, $1,377 a square foot. It's been on the market for 194 days. So this is just a taste, right? If we talk about what's available in the market and what's actually happening, I didn't get into actual sales, and we get too far in the weeds with the luxury, but as a whole, I mean, I'm going to dive back into this house because look at this thing, man. Y'all, this is like right up my alley. I'm going to have to ask Kate, but I think if we could bring it, she'd be good.
It looks like a coastal castle.
It's ridiculous. I love that the TV, it's a hatch and it comes down. If you look up, I know it's small here, but like that's what's happening up top there. This thing's unbelievable. Right on the water, boat dock. I love a floating staircase. I'm a sucker for it. I'm not going to lie. Love the wood tones in this place.
Are you trying to show us pictures? Because we're not seeing them.
Oh, yeah. Nice. I'm so sorry. Let me go back. Front elevation here. I realized it didn't shift with us. This is the back with the spa, the lap pool. Look at the deck. Look at the TV comes down out of the ceiling.
That's sweet.
Can't have it hanging on the wall. That's beneath us.
That'd be
Right. Look at this.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Yeah, man. I love this floating staircase. You got the banquette. I love the arches. And you got arches all around the house. Not everything's just clean line. Look at that. It's beautiful. Anyways, I'm getting way ahead of myself here. The boss did not approve this message, so I need to go back and check in with her.
She's just gonna say no because it's too much to clean.
Yes, we had to buy washer and dryer today, so that's gonna be definitely gonna be a no.
And that's a valid question.
Yeah, can't win them all. Can't win them all. All right, let me get into some numbers really quick, y'all. We've been talking about, cycling the numbers through the hurricane, and you're starting to see that happen. The numbers you're looking at right now, and we're not going to get super deep in the weeds. I'm going to do a live stream during the week where I just nerd out on this stuff. But I just wanted to share this with you because we're going to hit the highlights for all 4 of the counties that we serve real quick. But I do want to talk about clearing the numbers on the hurricane because we've seen the numbers here in Pinellas County down 10%, down 12%, for 4 or 5 straight months. And we're cycling a lot of those numbers, which makes sense, right? We were up against a hurricane. But closed sales, look at the jump in the numbers. And this doesn't, Hurricane Milton was at the beginning of October. That's why. So you're starting to see that clear out when, the back half of October 24, nobody sold anything. Right. Houses were just sitting or closed that were under contract, but closed sales were up 31.5%. Again, the numbers are going to be skewed because you were going against a month with a hurricane in it. So I just want everybody to kind of understand, but we knew we would clear this. And now if you're interested in Pinellas County, you need to really start focusing because what you're going to see now is going to be more closer to the objective truth. Does that make sense? Because you're cycling through those numbers, but not this month. Next month is where I really want you to start really diving deep. But I want to show you the bounce back here. So 31% paid in cash. Remember we were talking about this, ladies? 33% of all of the home sales that took place in Pinellas County were in cash, which is wild. So 569 sales were in cash out of the 315, which is crazy. New pending sales are up 26%. New listings are also up because, again, property can go to the market. Pending inventory is up 10%, and inventory active listings is also up 26%. So everything is up, okay? So what does that mean? I'm not going to get in the absorption rate. We have to do math on that. I'm not going to kill people on that, but I want to get to these numbers for sure and just kind of walk through these really quick. Okay, so here we go. October 25. This is single family homes only. This does not include condos, townhomes like you saw on the last chart. So this is if you're looking at a single family home, this is what you're looking at. So paid in cash, 52% of all the homes that sold in Pinellas County in October of 25 were cash sales.
Wild.
52% of them. All right. The median sales price fell from $460,000 in 24 to $450,000. So it is down 2.2%, but way better than the 12 or 13% we had been seeing month over month.
Yeah.
Our average sales price fell to $573,000. That's down 1.7. Median percent of list received. Here's the thing. When we talk about what's your opportunity for deals, are sellers dealing right now? What you're seeing here is relative 6.7%. That sellers are accepting 6.7% on average below their asking price in Pinellas County. So again, opportunity looking out there. Median time to contract, 46 days. When I moved here in 2018, we took possession of our home on December 8th, 2018. So we just celebrated our 7th year anniversary here, y'all. The median day to contract was 47. I remember it because I'm in real estate and I moved down. Right, 47 days. So we're back to that as being normal. So that's good. Time to sales, 82 days. That makes sense. Pending sales, 33%. Pending inventory. So I'm not going to get too far. Months of supply is up 20%, which again, that makes sense cycling versus last year at the same time. We need to follow that number starting now, moving forward. So really pay attention in November if you're looking in Pinellas County. Okay. Does that make sense, everybody? Just kind of really kind of pull through there. Let me pull in here. John says Tampa seems a relative bargain, even in the ultra low luxury segment. My wife's client bought a nothing house, literally, no kidding, not even on the water for $4,100 a square foot in Monticello, California. Yep. Montecito, California. Yeah, that's wild. All right, I'm gonna jump up to Pasco where Stacy is really quick. Give you guys some insights on this. So you're looking at Pasco County monthly statistics. Closed sales were up. This is all types. So condos, townhouse, single family. Paid in cash was up 9%. So that's good. New pending sales up 10%. New listings only up 1.2%. So not a whole lot of extra inventory came to the market last month, Stacy. Pending inventory is down 9.3%. So again, what are the tea leaves telling us here in terms of what's about to happen? And then inventory is up 6.3%. Now, let me get you guys to the same numbers we were just looking at with Pinellas County. I know we can dial you in just a little bit bigger there. Okay, perfect. Hopefully that's big enough here. So closed sales up 11.8%. Paid in cash up 8.5%. So that's good. Median sales price $369,000, down from $384,000 a year ago. That's down 4%. That's one of the bigger dips we've seen in Pasco. We do have a lot of new construction up there dealing, y'all. So pay attention. If it's your time, it's your time. Federal Reserve is going to have their meeting tomorrow, and we'll see what happens out of that. We'll talk about that later. The average sales price is down 1.9%. Dollar volume is up. A median percent of list price received. They're not dealing as much as we are in Pinellas County there. 95.6% of the ask price is what they're getting. Median days to contract, just a day longer than Pinellas County at 49. Median time to sales similar as well. New pending sales are up. This is what we were talking about. This is single family homes now, 15.6%. So we're seeing a huge lift on contracts. And y'all, mortgage rates have continued to fall, got to almost their lowest levels in 25 this past month. So that's why we've seen a jump in mortgage applications. You can go look at any place. I usually show Mortgage News Daily is where that number is. New listings are up a little bit and pending inventory is down. So again, more homes are being purchased than put on the market there. So that's good news. A month of supply up there is 3.7. And as we head to Hillsborough County really quick, jump into the same thing. This is, again, all home types, single family, condo, townhome, up 5.7%. Paid in cash up 8.6. New pending sales 33%. New listings 27. Let me get down to the numbers, the nitty gritty that matters to all of us here, and then we'll kind of dig into this. All right, closed sales in Hillsborough County. This is where Tampa proper is, Lutz, West Chase, that area. Up 5.5%. Paid in cash flat. They didn't do any more deals in cash sales there, so that came to Pasco County and to the beaches. Median sales price is up again for the third straight month, 0.2%. That was the exact same as last month. So they just kind of been, going steady there after their dip of almost 8 straight months. The average sales price is down 2.7%. Moving into the deals that are taking place there, they're receiving 95.3%, very similar to what's going on in Pasco County as well. 43 days median time to contracts are the lowest out of the 3, 82 days to make a sale. New pending sales jumped 35.3% in in Hillsborough, that's a huge jump. That's as big as Pinellas. So whatever's happening there, people are getting back in the action. I mean, again, Pasco is still 16%, which in any month is a huge month. Just looking at that, new listings are up 26%. And then their months of supply are 3.9%. I won't get into let me jump into Manatee just real quick. Just give everybody a highlight on this since we're in it. Manatee is going to be Parrish, Bradenton, those areas, just so we kind of keep track of there. Their closed sales are up. Paid in cash is up. Median sales price is actually up for the first time in God knows how long. So shout out to you guys down in Bradenton and Sarasota, looking at a little relief there. In Manatee, Lakewood Ranch area on the north side, those types of things. Average sales price is also up, $616,000 on those guys. They're definitely not inexpensive. Still deals are being had though. 94.9%. People are asking more money. In Manatee County on average, time to contract is the slowest out of all 4 counties that we serve at 55 days. Definitely taking longer to get under contract and longer to sell. And new pending sales, we're up 43%. But new listings also jumped 42%. So I still think we're going to have some dealing, a lot of dealing taking place in Manatee and in Pinellas County, but it's time to start paying attention to Pinellas specifically. So that's Clearwater, St. Pete, Tarpon, Dunedin, Safety Harbor, Largo, Seminole, those types of areas, Palm Harbor. If those are on your radar, now is time to pay attention. All right. So I know I went pretty quick there, but just generally speaking, we're seeing a lot of activity in the market. This is the time of year, and we've shared it before. We'll see a slowdown here over the next couple weeks because it's the holidays, and that's very normal for everybody else. But the second week of January is when our calendar really starts to filling up again. And we're already starting to see some of that movement take place now. So just want to put that on your radar. If you guys have questions, reach out to the team. Numbers on the screen there. All of our contact information is down below as well. And I think that this is important to note because people are wondering what's going on in our marketplace. There are deals to be had. If you want me to get into the numbers, like I said, I'll do a live on this and really get in the weeds. I want to get to what's happening in and around town too. But I definitely wanted to keep everybody on the update here and help them understand what's going on. So we'll jump into where we're headed next. Let me pull this now really quick. We got a question. All right. Hey guys, what causes the time to contract to be longer? Oh, good question. Stacy, I'll let you handle this. Time to contract. So just for clarity, we want to make sure we're answering your question right. Time to contract is when a buyer writes an offer and a seller accepts. All right. So that's when in our system here in the MLS or in Tampa Bay, it will be marked pending. So we'll go from an active listing on Zillow or Redfin or whoever's website to a pending home sale. That's the counter. So from the first day it's listed to the day it goes under contract, that's time to contract. Time to sale is when it actually closes. So that is typically within a 30-day window, but you can see some of those are longer, 40 days. And that's usually happening because people are negotiating things like inspections and those types of things. But Stacy, why would it take longer to get a home under a contract? What are the causes that makes a home not go under contract quickly?
It needs work. Maybe hasn't been updated. Homes that have been remodeled or updated have newer roofs, newer systems like HVACs and water heaters. Those are a lot more attractive to buyers right now. Buyers are wanting to check the majority of their boxes because the interest rates are higher. They're not going to have the extra funds to do all those things. Affordability is a huge issue right now. So homes that aren't as updated are taking longer to go under contract.
Yeah, that's definitely one of them that we're seeing out there. What else, Madison? What else could affect time to contract?
I would definitely say pricing. Pricing definitely has to be appropriate, in order for it to go semi-quickly in the market that we're in. So if you overprice, it's definitely going to sit longer. The ones that are listed accurately and good always go quickly. So
yeah. And then the last of the big three, there's really four, but I'll kind of give the three categories here. So condition was the one that Stacy was referring to. What is the condition of the property that has been listed? What is the price of the property that's been listed? And then the other big three, if you look at three, is location. You can have a beautiful home and it can be priced really well, but if it's in a tough location, that it will also deter buyers from making that jump. And that's important to note because it can look like a deal on the surface, but when you have to go resell that house in the future, because no one lives in homes forever, you now inherited the problem that the seller had when they sold it to you. So they will sell. Every home sells at the appropriate price for its condition, its location. But the fourth bucket that most people never talk about, because we're taught those things, right? Location, location, location. That's what people always say, but it's pricing, condition, and location. And the fourth one that no one ever talks about is positioning, which really is a fancy word for marketing, right? How is the home presented? Right? Does it have professional photography and videography? Is it staged? Like there's so many things that can come into play on that as well. But the big three are the ones that most people know. The fourth one is the one you can feel, but most people can't articulate. And that's why when you go into a model home at a builder and it's like, they've got all $70,000 of available upgrades in the house and it's staged to the nines. And every light in the house is bright white. And you're like, I love it here. It's so bright and it's open. And I love all the finishes. And then you sit down and they're like, okay, you get this box. If you want to put the wainscoting on the wall, you got to hire somebody else to do that later. Right. So you get into these things. So I know we got a little bit long winded on this, but I think it's important to just dig in. right? In terms of why these things matter and how it really affects the home sale. Again, time to contract. What do you say now that you guys are answering it? If I just did some thinking, I could have answered. Yeah, but that's what we're here for, right? And ultimately, it still comes with, listen, I know how to change my tires on my car, right? Or rotate them. Doesn't mean I want to. It also doesn't mean I'm the expert, right? Like those guys may see something in my tires that I've had that happen before, right? So like, it's just part of the process. These ladies are in houses. They're actively selling homes. Like Stacy just worked through this on a house in Wesley Chapel, which was in an incredible neighborhood.
Perfect location.
Yeah, it's the spot where you want to be, right? Yeah. But that home, how long did that house take to sell?
I think we were just over 100 days to sell.
100 days to contract.
Yeah, it had a beautiful lot, like great curb appeal. It's just, it needed work on the inside. Some of those big ticket items had not been updated. So
yeah, and it's so hard, right? Like great house, great location, great school district, proximity to everything. It is like, it checks all the boxes. And we came out too high in price, but we're not going to get into the seller situation, but it was necessary to do that because everybody's situation is a little bit different. But the thing that was the challenge more than anything else was the fact that whoever was going to buy this home, to bring it up to neighborhood standards, it was going to be an expensive price tag. Right. Yeah. And that makes things very difficult. So if you guys are watching this and you're a homeowner, I know putting money in your house is not the funnest thing in the world to do. You're talking to somebody who's just literally had to pay for an entire renovation out of pocket after their home was destroyed from a storm. Right. So I am fully aware of how much it sucks. As a matter of fact, like I said, right before we lost power last night, y'all. We had a brownout 2 days ago, and then which is very rare that we ever lose power. We dip from time to time. There was a pretty big storm. So, we had so much rain 2 days ago, right? But last night we had our power go out, and this morning I went to go start the washing machine, and the electronic board inside of it is all wackadoodle. Right. So I'm like, and if you've heard this story already, we had a problem with the dryer right before we went on vacation, and we were able to fix that for like no big deal. And I want my son to do things like, and our washer and dryer doesn't owe us anything, y'all. We're a family of 5. We have our family comes here every other year for the holidays, and they're typically here 2 or 3 times a year for during the season because they want to get out of the cold too. So like, our washing machines, they don't owe us nothing, right? Like, not a thing, but like it failed, and $1,800 right out the door today, right? Like, so we know, but the reason we're sharing this with y'all is because like we see sometimes it's the simplest stuff, man. We walk into people's house, right, ladies, and like the caulking around the sink is moldy, and like y'all, and it's not very often, but I'm telling you guys right now. For a $6 caulking gun and a $6 tube of caulk, you can change how your home feels.
Yeah,
presentation is so important. Like so important. I was showing houses today, and in the very first house we looked at, the inside of it was perfectly clean. Like everything was just picture perfect. We go to another house that's just a couple square feet bigger. It's what, $25,000 cheaper. And the trim was dirty and scuffed up. It was just not as clean. It didn't show as well. And there were a lot of things better about it. It had a better lot. It didn't back up to a busy road, which the other one did. But I can tell you already, I know which one's going to win. It's the one that was clean, because if it's that clean, the homeowner took good care of the house.
And that is the one that gives it away every time, right? Like it's like in the restaurant business, my mentor used to tell me that all the time. And I was in hospitalities for years in college and stuff. They say, you walk into a restaurant, if their bathroom's dirty, their kitchen is.
Yeah.
right. Like, you know, their kitchen is, and like, you really want to eat there. It's like, oh man. And it's the same thing when we show houses, y'all. Listen, they're not going to tell you, the homeowner, but they tell us. Right. And you can see it. Their posture changes. Like, and I get it. I totally understand. So yeah, I get it. And it's hard. I mean, we've got dogs. So I already know that when you walk in our house, you can smell our dog because it's a dog and dogs stink. All right. I've been into like 3 houses in my entire career where people had cats and it didn't stink. It didn't smell like cats. You know what I mean? So like, these things are hard to deal with sometimes, but just sharing with y'all because we see this stuff all the time. And we want all of our clients to win. All right. But you got to set yourself up for success. So if you're and here's what I always tell everybody, you know, the things you've been ignoring for the last 10 years. You know, all the little creaks and squeaks and all the little things you got to work around your house. And they've just become second nature to you because you know how to like work around it. And a lot of it's not a big deal until you have an inspection report and it shows up in a 4x6 screenshot or a video. Right. And you're like, oh my God. And now buyers are asking for thousands of dollars off of something that really only takes $200 or $300 to fix. But the time and inconvenience is expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think buyers tend to panic too when they see a inspection report that is so long and they have all these little knick-knack things on there. It just makes it worse if there is something big and a whole bunch of knickknacks.
Yep.
If there's a little bit of knickknacks and maybe one big thing, then it's not as alarming as an 80-page inspection report with knick-knack repairs.
Nice. Yeah. Miss Jane says, my house is not completely done. Still need to do the outside kitchen. There's always something to do, Jane. We know the deal. Well,
that's a fun project.
It is, right? It's definitely a get to. But if it's not done and it's on your list, it's a have to, right? So like, it's weighing you down. But so I get it. But thanks for sharing that, Jane. Definitely dig it. Stockton says, by the way, very excited about USF football team with them hiring Brian Hartline. I think that could be a really big win for them. We shall see, right? A lot of movement happening in college football this year for sure. John says, one thing I noticed different from Seattle is that Tampa and probably all of Florida, more people prefer newer homes, sometimes even if the location is less ideal. What do you say about that, ladies?
Well, yeah, the cost of ownership on a newer home is a lot less than on, an older home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Seattle, often people buy teardowns for top dollars and location is trendy. Yeah. There definitely is it, and again, we have more to choose from here too. And I think especially on that average price point, John, because, again, people are really looking at their budget a little bit more diligently when, they're tied to their income. It's different it can be different sometimes for people who have, larger incomes or annual bonuses that they know that they can kind of work around. But when people start their year knowing exactly what they're going to make, they really tend to be a lot more diligent about where the extra expenses go. HOAs as an example, CDD fees. I talked to Stacy about this quite frequently, y'all. Like, there's a community out in Zephyr Hills that, it's a beautiful community. And we've even featured it on the channel, but like, I'll let Stacy talk about it. Like, what's going on out there that makes it difficult?
HOA fees and CDD fees are a lot higher, and they're going to have like a social club with a restaurant.
This is at Two Rivers, y'all.
Yeah, which is making it, you now have 2 HOAs and a CDD.
Yes.
It's making it a tough sell.
Yeah. And the schools aren't great.
True.
And the schools aren't great. So again, location, condition, and price, like those things matter. So definitely, I think those are great insights. Cool. All right, let's get out to what Miss Madison's got us on the hook for tonight, because she's got some cool stuff happening in and around town as well. Cool. Let me pop this up for you, Madison. We're gonna head. Where do you want to go first?
We could talk about the Tampa Riverwalk expansion.
Okay.
I think that's a pretty big one. A lot of people are talking about that currently. So
Where's the money going? Since we're talking about all the money, right? This is part of the deal. Let me get that out of the way. Cool. Go ahead, sis. You got it.
Yeah, so Tampa's Riverwalk is expanding on the west side. They're adding 2 more additional miles to the Riverwalk. It's currently under construction, and it is supposed to be completed sometime next year. So after it's all completed, you'll be able to walk, bike along the west side of the Hillsborough River. And then for those of you who haven't been to the Riverwalk, it's beautiful. You have all the scenery. It overlooks the shore, and it's the extra 2 miles is giving you more on water livability as well. So just it's outdoor living at its finest, and the fact that it's adding 2 more extra miles is amazing for the bikers, the runners, the families, the walkers. And I thought this was interesting too. So those extra 2 miles that they're expanding on, there's a plan to also at some time convert the Riverwalk, which isn't a trail, but to convert the Riverwalk into Tampa neighborhoods that have trails. So it can all be converted into one.
Nice.
So yeah, I thought that was super cool. So it's just more, access to the city, more access to neighborhoods. And I think it's a great win for the people, of Tampa, for our area, for the economy. The project alone is going to have a major impact, I would say. And it's going to create 500 short-term jobs.
Okay.
And then when it's completed, it's saying 1,000 direct jobs for the Riverwalk. So it's also going to stimulate more than $1 billion in the economic development across Tampa. So,
yeah. Well, we've seen this, right, Madison and Stacy. We've seen this in Tampa Heights, Seminole Heights, those areas. As this expansion has been, announced, and we've seen that. And the other thing, the economic thing is real. The jobs are one. The jobs to build it are one thing. We know that, right? But that's not long-term sustainable economic impact. It does affect people's lives who live here, right? Because they're working on. I totally get that. But what you really want to see is you want to see the neighborhoods improve. You want to see businesses come to that area, and that's where that $1 billion of impact is going to come from. Because we've already seen that. If you've been to Sparkman's Wharf, if you've been to Armature Works, down where the Strass Center is, I remember us moving here, and they were just updating and renovating all of that stuff right there, and it's changed so much. And it changes the feel. This is the biggest thing. It changes the entire feel when you're down there.
Yeah.
And I love it. I think it's great. I'm super excited for this project. I love the fact that our city is we're seeing not only growth for the sake of it's not growth for the sake of growth. There's real economic impact, and most importantly, lifestyle improvement.
Yeah, for sure. There's even going to be, so with just the 2 mile expansion alone, there is also going to be an additional 5 mile of roadways. So roads within Tampa, the city, improvements as well. That's focused on safety and, again, connecting the Tampa Riverwalk with those neighboring neighborhoods to connect the trails all in one together. So
yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah,
it's fantastic. It's good news. Love it. Okay, what else we got going on?
We can talk about the Howard Franklin Bridge.
Keep up with the development. I'm here for it. Let's go.
Yes. I actually, I drove across the bridge not too long ago, and I seen the new little, I guess you could say, signs that they had out there where the pedestrian walkway is going to be. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome.
They look like sails.
So, what is it?
They look like sails.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's really cool to just kind of see the growth on the bridge. So with the Howard Franklin, it's a total, I would say 6 miles. It's 5.8 miles a bridge. And what they're doing is building a new multi-use pedestrian bike / running pathway across the bridge.
Yep.
So we have a lot of cyclists, a lot of runners, bikers, walkers in the county and the city. So I think this is a huge win for the people of the city. You're going to be able to go across from Tampa to St. Pete and vice versa. And driving over the bridge alone is just a beautiful view. So I can only imagine like running or biking across and kind of just making an event out of it. So the target time for it to open is springtime and summertime of next year.
Okay.
And right there, Juan, where you just were, is kind of like the key factors of like, you know, what they're trying to accomplish from the bridge, like the benefits. So, you know, new improved emergency management situations, better efficient hurricane evacuation plans. And again, just cyclists, runners, pedestrians. And I think it's going to be awesome. I think it's another huge win for the city.
Express bus service is on this list as well. So like, this has been a huge project, y'all. The adding of the additional lanes, they're already, you know, tore down most of the old bridge too. Like that was wild to see how quickly they took that down.
Yeah.
But now you're going to have 6 lanes of traffic going out, right? When we used to have 4. So, you know, that's going to free up some space. Yes, it will cost some extra money to get in that express lane. I am here for it.
Yeah.
You charge me $2 or $3 anytime you want if I'm going to cross that bridge and not have to deal with traffic on 5 o'clock on a Friday night.
Yes.
So I am here for it. It's still going to be busy, but like having that as an option is great. The pedestrian stuff is really cool. We'll see. I mean, it's going to be loud. That's a very interesting experience out there. But how cool is it? I mean, when you're coming over the Howard Franklin, you know, if you've never been to Tampa before, it's a whole vibe. The Pelicans are flying all alongside of you. You can look out and it's like, it looks like a sea of diamonds when the sun's setting because of the way that it does, man. It's wild, right? You'll see dolphin out there. You know, obviously there'll be boaters and people doing things, but it's just such a cool experience. I love driving that bridge. You start to smell the salt in the air immediately. You're like, to me, I know I'm home.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
So I'm a big fan of crossing that bridge. And it's wild. Like when it rains too, y'all, like it's a whole, like you can always see the line of rain, like where it exactly it's crazy. So this is a cool project. It's been a long time coming, man. They've been working on this a very long time, but it is moving pretty quickly in terms of what they've done. So yeah, that's great. And you have one more thing for us too, Madison, before we close out the evening as well.
Yes, there is a new, you know, since the topic of my night was like kind of expansion. So there's a new expansion to Busch Gardens, an attraction, which is the biggest expansion that they had in over a decade, which I think is super interesting and exciting. So it's the Africa's Lions and Hyenas. It's a brand new animal exhibit. And I also heard of rumors of possible new rides in 2026.
Oh. Is one of them called Simba?
No, that would be great. What I heard,
a scarier name than Simba.
Yeah, true.
No, I want to be put at the top. They hold you at the very top. It'll be awesome.
Yeah.
I'll have to ask my son because he's working at Busch Gardens.
Yeah, well, that's a Disney anyways. That's Disney IP, so I'm sure that you won't be able to get that at Busch Gardens. But it was a good idea anyways. Love it.
Give us the inside scoop, Stacy, because from what I was trying to dig up, I seen that they did a survey on whether they should open up. Let's see, it was a major new coaster or another like basically exhibit, excluding this one. So there's no official announcement yet, but just something to look out for, because who doesn't love roller coasters? I'm here for those. But for this exhibit alone, they are, you know, open. So it's going to be the lions and the hyenas. And I just think it's great for the kids and it's great for the park alone. Busch Gardens, it's an awesome time, you know, take your family out there. My husband and I love going out there for a day, and it's going to be fun. So something else for the kids to do or for the family to get out there and do.
Heck yeah. Spanning nearly 35,000 square feet, edge of Africa's lion and hyena ridge features 2 expansive, multifunctional habitats
Mhm.
crafted to support the physical, social, and mental well-being of each animal. The design includes Kapchi, I think that's how that's pronounced. I'm not 100% sure. Style rock formations in naturalistic terrain, multiple enrichment zones. Corporate, stop with the madness. Enrichment zones offering a variety of choice for the animals, rotating space that allows for dynamic social groupings and behavior variability.
Mhm.
All right, listen, I'm a parent, all right? The only reason I'm going to this is because my kids want to have fun. Whoever's in charge of this needs to go look at Tampa's social media and talk to that person because y'all ain't got it together.
Are you talking like Tampa International Airport social media? Yes.
This is gibberish. Where in this does it say that's going to be a whole lot of fun? I'm just calling it out for what it is, right? Like when we start talking about dynamic social groupings and behavior variability, that is not screaming, take your 7-year-old and sweat through this park all day and suffer with us. That's not what it's saying.
That's true.
Take a cue from Disney. They don't talk that way, right? It's a magical experience, right, y'all? Like these are 2 different things happening right now. Anyways, I just take a step back.
Well, they don't want to scare the kids, with the talk. I don't know, but
this is awesome.
Yeah.
That sucks. Pardon my language.
They need to work on their marketing for that.
Hey, remember we were talking about positioning? Incorrect positioning. Correct positioning? Yeah. Incorrect positioning. No one cares. We care about you. Tell me that when I get there. That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Right? We make the animals feel good. Awesome. I'm glad you're doing that. That's how you share it with us. I know I just totally went tangent on this, but like, goodness gracious. This looks
they probably have to, put that there because, whatever. But people, we love our animals and we want people to know that, I guess. So
we do. We love them. I want them to be respected as well. But I get it. Anyways, that was Juan's tangent for the night. Forgive me, Matt. Just like what in the world just happened there? Anyways, all right. John had a question before we shut it down. So let's get see if we can help John before the evening falls out. A complex question. That's the best kind. When you buy in an established HOA community, how you protect yourself from the issue the community decaying as years go by and residents not wanting to approve fees? Oh, that's a good question. And then 2, this is a 2-parter. This is why it's complex. Increases and assessments to keep place in good shape. It's a negative feedback loop. Values go down, attracting more budget mind. Okay, perfect. So to sum this up as best as I possibly can, again, positioning conversation. What John is asking about here is when you buy into an HOA community, y'all. Okay, so they have budgets. That's like when you're buying into one. This is a great perspective. So when you're going to buy into a home, right? You're buying a single family home, a condo, townhome, doesn't matter. When you're buying into that community, there's a couple things you want to ask for when you purchase. Okay, number 1, you always want to ask for a copy of the master deed and the bylaws. Okay, so that's the first thing you want to ask for in the HOAs. Because these things are all independent. The builder is able to put a master deed in place that has restrictions on it. Okay. There will also be rules and regulations and bylaws. All 3 of these things are there. The bylaws can change based upon the residents voting, and they can go in and approve something to get changed, right? If something's too restrictive. The deed restrictions are a different game. I don't get too far in the weeds on this, but here's the reality. You also should ask for a budget. Okay, because not only you're paying HOAs, where are they going? So the reason you want to ask that question is because some, and we've seen this is why condos have become such a problem in the state of Florida. Owners can vote to decrease spending. And this is what John's getting at here. All right, because they're trying to keep their costs low, which makes sense, but the overall cost of goods and services continues to increase. So how do you handle that as a homeowner in a community where you rely on other residents to help participate in the maintenance and upkeep and the beautification, if you will, of your community? And this is the the core of the question that John was asking, in terms of the complexity, right? The complexity is you have residents that are going to vote in their best interest typically, and not always in the best interest of the community. Most people are going to vote in the best interest of their wallet. Okay, that's not always the case, but you will find that. And then when that starts to happen, it is a doom loop, or the law of diminishing returns, where, this year you don't do the upkeep on the road because now you're responsible for the roads inside of your community, right? Or you don't do an improvement that is due. Condos and townhomes are a much easier thing to point to because, the roof is everyone's responsibility, not just a single homeowner, right? And if there's not enough money in the budgets, now you got problems. So much so where some lenders are now starting to ask for, they're asking for proof of solvency for the HOA itself. Think of it as a business, because that's what it is at the end of the day, right? And if it's underfunded, meaning that it doesn't have enough reserves, that's what they call them when they take your HOA capital and put it in escrow, right? When it's there, if they don't have enough reserves, condos are not getting approved on mortgages. That's why you see a lot of cash only purchases on condominiums. But that doom loop can also take place in a HOA. So it's a great question, John. Again, I'd have to see how the bylaws are written. I'm not an attorney, but a lot of them talk about mediation first, which is expensive. And then ultimately you guys got to vote people in and out that are willing to do the hard things, and be good negotiators to get the things done. So, what do you say here? Exactly. I don't want to follow the builders. When he leaves, I leave. There you go. Yeah. And this is tough, man. This is why the HOA conversations are so difficult, because you do get a lot of value in terms of amenities typically, especially now versus more established neighborhoods. They're a little bit different. But you are at the mercy of whatever's going on with pricing outside of your community walls. Because, you need somebody to take care of the pool. You need somebody to take care of the roads. You need somebody to take care of the fitness equipment in the house, the fitness center and the recreation department and the people on staff. And like, y'all, it's a business, and nobody likes increasing their budget annually, right? This is why we are fighting our governments constantly too about their spending. So this is a great question. It is complex. It's not a one answer suits all. But ask for the things up front. John's in a different situation where he's already there. Now it's time to start having conversations with the residents, right? So you got to become an advocate for yourself, for the community, and get people who want to hold people accountable. And that's how you get movement there typically, right? But still, what if somebody doesn't have it? This is why these things become challenging. So lots of questions on that. Great question, John. That's one of the deeper questions we've had in a while. They're all important, y'all. Don't hesitate to ask those questions of us while we're here. We're here for you guys. We love answering those questions. If you have a question later and you want to get it answered, put it in the comments. If you're watching this on YouTube, drop in the comments. We'll get to it later. John says some ultra high end communities ask for income. Yeah, that there is definitely a part of that too. There are communities that require you to spend a certain amount of money inside of the community annually, and that goes to fund some of that stuff. So great point. These are different worlds, right, y'all? Like if you buy into you got a 40-acre land in Denver where you're gonna answer to anybody, versus the 3 community pools and fitness center and the recreation host and all those things. They're all different. So real estate is not one size fits all. And it's something that you really need to be cognizant and diligent of. Hopefully we help answer some of those questions, and we're grateful to get that the opportunity to do that. Looking at the calendar, ladies, we are coming into a holiday here. What do we got left on the year?
Crazy how fast the year went by.
It's crazy. What's left here? Next Tuesday we'll be with y'all. Yep. So Tuesday the 16th. That's crazy to say that. If you don't have your gifts together, you better get them together, guys, because it is coming down right now. We'll be with you guys Tuesday the 16th. We are going to take the back half of the year off. I thought we were going to take the 23rd and then come back the following. We're not. We're not coming back till the 6th of January. Okay. So the 23rd and the 30th, we will be out spending time with family and friends. We pray that you guys are able to do the same thing and spend time with everybody you love. But we will be back with you. It'll be the last Tampa Talk live next Tuesday on the 16th of 2025. And then we will see you back in 2026, y'all. Wow. So crazy to say. So crazy to say. So crazy to say. All right. Thanks for the updates. Have a great week. Goodbye. Yes, Keith. Thank you so much, sir. Ladies, as always, until next time, what do we say?
Go out and live
Go
that
out and live that Tampa life.
You did it.